everything I need to. Yeah. I've been trying to get you out to something out to grind. You've been hunting for 40 days.
I bet Elon's never seen $20 before. You fucking poor. Hey, you know what? Speaking of poor shaming, I just got fucking poor shamed so hard. What was it, yesterday? When was it? It was like, I think it was yesterday. Fucking Ludwig called me and goes, yo, you want to play poker on Sunday? I was like, yeah, sounds fun. Sounds great. And he's like, yeah, Mr. Beast is going to be there. I'm like, oh, wow. Jimmy? Okay. My boy Jimmy? Yeah, I'll be there. That sounds great. And then he's like, all right, but the buy-in is $100,000. And I thought he was joking. And I was like, yeah, that's funny. All right, well, I'll see you there. And he's like, no, I'm serious. You got No. I'm not. Why call me, dude? No, I'm not gonna put up $100,000 and lose. By the way, he also didn't tell me it's not just Mr. Beast. Like, here's the deal. If it's Mr. Beast and it's fucking Lud and it's a bunch of influencers, you put up $100,000, you play tight, odds are I could make a profit. That's fine. He didn't tell me. It's also like fucking 3 poker superstars. It's like Tom Dwan, Phil Hellmuth. It's like gods of poker who are there to beat us for a video. So I'm going to put up $100,000, get absolutely rolled by top poker players. No, there's no fucking shot. Do I have $100,000 liquid? Yes. I do have $100,000 liquid because I cashed out a lot of stuff in November. But that money is for like house down payment, wedding, whatever else. And there is no way that I'm even close to rich enough to play around with $100,000. I was telling him, if I got my money in good, if I put $100,000 out there and like put it on pocket aces and I was ahead, like my money was in good, and I lost, like I got bad luck and I lost, I would fucking, I would cry. I mean, I would do something I regret on stream. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be myself. There is no way. I would definitely hurt Mr. Beast. I would hurt him. And I don't want to do that to Jimmy. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to have to break his arm and get into his fucking cash bag that he carries with him. So, yeah, I'm just not. I think you got to have more money than Ludwig does to really throw around $100,000 gambling that you're almost certain to lose. But he's down for it for the content. You could tilt Hellmuth for like $50,000 by playing garbage. You guys know Tom. You probably don't know. I don't even know because he's like an old poker head now. But Tom Dwan was like the fucking poker hotness back with the poker boom, and he has spent 10 years in Macau just farming Chinese billionaires in games exactly like this. Exactly like this. He goes, he hangs out with Chinese billionaires, he plays like $100,000 a hand, and he farms them. This is what he's been doing for 10 years. And now he's going to come out here and farm me? I think not. I think no way. Slime did not have $100,000 liquid. No, Ludwig is staking him, obviously. We ever do Bros with Quinn Dota? Maybe. Who would be the pro, though? Would it be Quinn or would it be me? Because, obviously, I'm kind of a Dota fiend. We can go fund you $100,000. I would take the money and fucking fold. If someone gave me $100,000 to use in this game, I would sit there and fold. I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way. It's so negative EV for too much money. Uh, mm. Honestly, I take the dinner with Jay-Z. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess, you know what I could do? I could treat it like a dinner for Jay-Z moment. Okay, hear me out. I put up the 100 racks and I sit there and I fold every hand and I sit next to Mr. Beast and I just ask him thumbnail and title questions. It's 3.5 hours. I'll bring a list of questions. I just fold and I'll get my money's worth, dude. That's not a bad idea. But even still, dude, I think I remember this happening. I used to watch a lot of poker back when poker was a bigger deal. It was like early YouTube days, and I remember there was a big rush of poker content. And I remember they had like a pros versus Joes, or it was like called the Shark Tank or something. It was like something where they had like six top players, and they would bring an amateur on, and they would play with them. And who dat? Thank you for the raid. Infinite Gamer. And maybe it was Joe's versus Pros. I don't know. Anyway, the guy didn't want to lose. He had a very strict system. And so he folded every hand unless he got pocket aces, which is the best starting hand. Then he got pocket aces, played, got unlucky, lost. And the look on his face, because he couldn't afford it. Like it was nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he waited forever until he got the perfect hand. Then got unlucky, which can happen in poker. And then lost. Then lost his fucking buy-in. And so that could happen to me. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to me. That's not my fucking honestly, 100K for a gambling is like the poker more actual poker because no one wants to lose that money. Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone there is probably good for content. Listen, here's the deal. I was climbing with Lud today and I was talking about it. He thinks they're just gonna play for fun, like Tom Dwan's gonna like do crazy flips and stuff, and he will. Tom Dwan will, because Tom Dwan has practiced this act for 10 years. Nobody likes a tryhard at the table. So what he does is he goes and he hangs out with these billionaires in Macau. And he pretends like it's all fun and it's all goofy. And then he, over time, farms every dollar from the table, dude. That's that's what he does. Dude, he knows how to make it fun. He knows how to pretend like, he'll splash the pot. He'll have a fun couple hands. But he'll end up with the cash. It's what fucking good pros do when they're hustling rich amateurs. And... I'm not about that life. It would just be too tough to explain to Ari. Bro, and you know what I know would happen? Let's say I go. It's a wild time. I have some crazy hands. We're having fun. I'm making jokes back and forth. The whole thing. I end up losing $80,000. Maybe I keep 20, whatever. I will take that. I will upload it to YouTube, and it will get the exact same amount of views as everything else. It'll get like 150 to 200K. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a 10 million view video. It's not going to fucking change my channel. It's going to be a normal video. It'll be kind of funny. So it's not like it's an investment. It'll be an $80,000 regular video. Yeah. A Marketing Monday where I'm like, Elon Musk? What's he up to? That would get more. Unless I bluff Tom Dwan. You're right. Unless I get one clip of me bluffing Tom Dwan's ass. But more likely I get called. Yeah, I could have watched the Shark Tank. I could have sat at home, saved 80 grand and watched the Shark Tank. How many views would it need to be worth it? If I lost $80,000, no video in the history of my channel has made $10,000, right? So there's no amount of views I think I could get that would be worth 80,000. I've never even heard of a video making 80,000. I don't know of any video, like even on Lud's channel or anyone that I know that's made 80,000. Mr. Beast will make 80,000 for sure, but like that's it. You need like multiple millions, maybe 10 million plus. on a video with like a good amount of ads, that's probably like over 10 minutes. Coney raid. What's up, Coney? I watched a little bit of Coney. Coney's been on fire lately with the content. I watched Coney today until he started watching the Coca-Cola video, and I'd already seen that, so I took a shower. So actually, thank Coney, because I wouldn't have gone live. Coney watched a fucking video I'd already seen, and I got so bored I decided I'd go live. So Coney not only went live, but he gave me a raid, and that's huge. That's fucking huge. Is the Punch shopping video happening? I mean, no, I'm not going to Walmart with Punch anytime soon just because of the distance, but I am doing a Punch stream tomorrow. Punch is coming on stream tomorrow to show me the best CSGO clips of all time. It's literally happening tomorrow. We finally locked it. We locked it, cocked it, rocked it. It's happening. The return of Punch. Should be sick. I'm pretty excited. If it was a 10K buy-in, would you do it? Of course. Yeah. If it was 20K, I would do it. If it was 25K, I would do it. Everything over that, it's like there's no world where the content's even close to worth that much. And and I have to know that I'm going to lose it all going in. No, there's just no way. Wouldn't you just win and make more money? I don't follow. Yeah, you know what? I should just get in there and roast, 15-time World Series of Poker bracelet winning Phil Hellmuth and one of the greatest cash game poker players of all time, Tom Dwan. I should just fucking beat their ass. Playing with money that I'd be scared to lose. I would be the... I almost want to do it and just fold. I wonder, I don't know if they'd be too mad at me. If I literally, because I wonder what the blinds are. I think if I folded every single hand, literally never played a hand, I'd probably lose 10 grand just from blinds. Probably. I don't know what the blinds are and how fast it moves. So I would be losing $10,000 to have, it would almost be a funnier video. The hand where I get pocket aces, look at it, look in the camera, and fold would be the funniest fucking... Not suited. God, that would be funny. That would probably be funny. I folded every hand against poker, bro. Maybe I'll see. Maybe if they need one person to be the person that is scared money at the table, who will? But they just, you know what's gonna happen, dude? I know this sounds so funny to me in theory, but I know what I'm like at a poker table, and I know that if I got aces, I would think, okay, but come on, or even ace king, dude. I know that if I get a good hand, I'd be like, all right, come on, Brad. Let's get some money. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to do it. Are you a million? Dude, if you cash out everything I ever have, which is all from a pretty lucky stock market over the past 2 years, I would be around like $1 million, right? So I'm not, this would still be 10% of everything I've had in the world lost. I can't afford this. There is no world I can afford this. And it would be stupid. And also, like, I'm not alone in that. I have a fucking fiance. There's just no, it would be too dumb. I thought about it because it'd be so fun, but it's too dumb. But it was funny. I got poor shamed, as per usual. Normal bankroll management is 100 to 200 buy-ins. Yeah, I listen. That's what I think. Because Ludwig is putting up 200 racks, but I think he'll get a better video out of it. It's still, if there's a world where Lud and Slime both just bonk out, like if they lose 100 racks quickly, that I know that is not a good financial look. There's You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money, and he's not. You know, Ludwig's deal was not fucking shrouds. It wasn't ninjas. What do you do with your Twitch money? Um, I am secretly planning to be a street racer, so I've been working on a really sick modded car that I train every single day and I street race. It's a Honda Fit with a a V12. I painted racing stripes on the side. Yeah. It can drift. Oh, it can drift. Don't get me wrong. When I'm driving around the parking lot of Ralph's fucking Safeway to get groceries, I fucking drift. I drift that bad boy. Everyone fucking thinks it's sick. Look up Jennifer's push fold chart. Bro, do you really want to be the person at the fucking table? Like the guy at the blackjack table who has the fucking the card, the laminated card of what to do? Fuck Spectrum, dude. Fuck Spectrum, on God. I am not gonna be the fucking blackjack table guy with a fucking laminated card. And I'm gonna be like, oh, this? Well then I will raise. No, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I don't know. I will think about if they still need one person. I will think about possibly only folding. But I think Mr. Beast, who doesn't know me, would be mad. There's no point in inviting a player who's only gonna fold. There's literally no point. There's no point. I'm having the chart and still folding. Anyway, how's everybody doing? What's going on? Alpha Hawk, thank you for the... Sorry I missed yesterday. I'm not sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry that it happened. But I had work, so I'm not sorry. Plus, dude, you know Mr. Beast? He would probably put up a fucking challenge. If I folded 10 rounds in straight, he would be like, I'll double your buy-in if you go all in blind on the next hand. Or he'll be like, you want this new car? All you have to do is start playing 5-6 offsuit. You know what? He'll do something. He'll get in my fucking head. And then I'll end up out of my money. I'll be broke. It sounds like content though. It's dude, you have to understand how good of content can it be? Is it gonna get me 12 million views? You know what I'm saying? It's not even on my stream. It's not like I'm gonna. It's not gonna give me the type of content that's gonna make it even close to worth it. I think the best video I've ever had in terms of making money probably made 4 to 5 racks, maybe. One of those million view Hitman videos probably made like $4,000, $5,000. That's the best video I ever had. So imagine losing fucking 100,000. That's my channel, dude. More views than Morbius. Okay, well then I'd be fine. If you guys just tuned in, I'm talking about a $100,000 poker game with Mr. Beast that I was invited to, but I have to put up my own $100,000. So I'm not gonna do it. I got poor shamed. But I'm just not going to do it. And also it's with pros. It's with pro poker players. I will just lose the money. End of the day, I'll lose the money and it's going to suck. It could be the ultimate bros versus pros. Yeah, it could. Win one hand and cash out. What if I lose one hand? What do I do after that? What if I show up and lose one hand? Tax write-off? I looked into it. Bro, I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, maybe, I had fucking massive taxes this year. What if I could write the whole thing off of my taxes? And I looked it up, and you could only deduct gambling losses up to the amount of your gambling winnings. So unless I win $100,000, I can't deduct $100,000 of losses. And I haven't won $100,000 gambling. So there's no world I could deduct it. I literally looked into it. Stans is buying 3 slots at the game. Dude, Stans fucking on his knees begged Ludwig to stake him in the game today. While we were climbing. Ludwig, I think, is already capped out at 2. I think Ludwig's overspending a little bit, but he will get a good video. His video will be bigger than mine ever would be. But still, I that's a lot of money. $200,000 is a fucking lot of money, dude. You could hire a fucking full-time employee for like a senior level full-time employee for 2 years. He could have hired with that. Instead, he's going to get 1 video. Yeah, he stakes slime. Why buy in for $200K when you could just buy in for $50K? So when you get stacked, you don't lose out. It's not a choice. Yeah, I should. I'll buy in for $12. Everyone else has a fucking massive stack of chips. I'm there with fucking a single. Yeah, guys, I'm just here to have fun. Hey, what's up, Tom? I'm just here for chip in a chair, baby. No, you have to buy in for $100,000. Everyone has to buy. Chip in a chair. Yeah, the problem is you can't. You guys don't know poker. Even if you folded every hand, you would lose a good chunk of your money because they take a little bit as you go around the table, so that there's something in the pot all the times. It's called blinds. And so even if I folded every hand, I would lose some, but it would be fine. If I knew that I could do that and I could just have sign a contract to where I'm not allowed to play, and I have to fold, I would do that for sure. It'd be really funny. It would be a funnier video than me just doing mid to bad. Would be me folding every single hand, even good hands. But I think Mr. Beast would not like it because it's not good content for him. Fold until Mr. Beast is so pissed he pays you $100K. Yeah, that's a good idea. Would you be able to fold pocket aces, though? That's what I'm saying. I don't think I would. I think if I got pocket aces, I would get greedy. Because I'm guaranteed ahead. I'm guaranteed I'm putting my money in good. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's like I couldn't, but I would, it doesn't, because if it goes wrong, I don't get why they include pros. It makes it a better video. Dude, playing poker with some of the greatest and funniest at the table poker players of all time, Tom Dwan and Phil Hellmuth, it's going to be a fire video. But they do this for a living. Dude. They do this all the time. It's not all luck. It's definitely not all luck. Anyway, I want to talk about Elon Musk real quick, if you guys don't mind, because it looks like. So I was doing a little more looking into his buyout here. As you guys know, Elon Musk ostensibly bought Twitter, the whole thing, kit and caboodle. And I was wondering, okay, he's buying every Twitter share for $54.20, and yet Twitter shares are still trading under that amount. And I was like, why? Why the fuck? This is free money. If today I bought a share for $49, Elon Musk has promised to pay $54. That's a free $6 profit or $5 profit. I could buy 1 million of these and make $5 in each one. Oh, God damn it. What? Spectrum. We're back. It's always back. Sorry. It's, Spectrum's being a bitch, dude. I'm going to try and upgrade to business class. Spectrum. Anyway, Elon's cutting my fucking cord. He doesn't want people to know this. Anyway, it looks like it's a free money glitch, right? because it was trading even down. Dude, look, it was trading down. Like at one point, it was trading $48 yesterday. So today. So at 10:40 a.m. today, you could have bought a Twitter share for $48, which Elon Musk has legally promised to pay $54 for. So that's free money. Essentially, it's free money. And I'm like wondering why. Why is it the case? And the answer is there is a good chunk of the market that doesn't believe this will go through. And they have very, very good reasons to think that. Because all of the loans, the $35 billion in loans that he took out are guaranteed against his Tesla stock. And if his Tesla stock drops, which it is dramatically, it's dropping dramatically ever since this Twitter thing was announced. It jeopardizes the guarantee of the loans, and he might have to back out. Now, I looked into the contract. If he backs out of the deal, he only has to pay, but he only has to pay a $1 billion fee. And Twitter made that fee high. $1 billion is a massive backout fee, but he has to pay a $1 billion fee if he backs out of the deal. And I say only because Tesla stock lost, it lost like 40 billion in value, dude. Today, Tesla stock is losing billions of value every day. So if he thought that backing out and paying the 1 billion would cause Tesla stock to go back up even a little bit, it would make that money back. It would be worth the billion. And so there's a very real shot that he might be trying to get out of it. And one thing that's very interesting is that another clause in the contract is that it can be voided at any moment by Twitter, I believe, if there's a disparagement clause, which basically means if he starts talking shit about Twitter during the buying process, they can void it. They can void the contract. And you know what he's been doing? Very odd for a man apparently about to buy Twitter. He's been talking shit about Twitter nonstop. Specifically, executives at Twitter. What does voiding it mean? I mean, it would void the contract, so he doesn't have to go through with it. Let me see if I can find the. Let's see. Yeah, okay, here it is. Look, Elon Musk is not supposed to disparage Twitter while trying to buy it. He's doing it anyway. He continues to tweet at will despite a clause laid out in his acquisition agreement that requires him to avoid disparaging the company. Now, why is he doing this? I think he's starting to realize that he vastly overpaid for this fucking company. Bro, I think he literally vastly Twitter is just not worth this much money. And it's causing him serious financial strain. And if Tesla stock keeps going down, if it goes down, it's already gone down a bit, right? It's already gone down a bit. It's gone down like half of where, or 20% from where it was. If it goes down 40% from where it was when he made the original deal, he has to pay the full value of the loans immediately. And if he doesn't, the banks that gave him the loans can seize his Tesla stock and sell it immediately to pay their debts. They can seize his Tesla stock. So that would mean they can go in to what is already a declining Tesla share, grab all of his shares, sell a bunch of them to get 40 billion. It can be a real fucking problem. So I really think Elon is like rethinking this whole fucking I think he's rethinking this whole fucking deal, dude. Now, it still might go through. Again, $1 billion breakup fee is a big deal, and it's cash and has to be paid. And you know what's funny is Elon Musk's goal was to make Twitter better, right? That was his goal. That's what he said. He's like, Twitter's bad. It doesn't make any money. I can do it better. Well, what's funny is If he has to pay this $1 billion breakup fee, that'll be more money than Twitter has made in the past 5 years from actual operations. They've basically lost money every year. So $1 billion from courting and then getting rid of Elon Musk will be the most profitable thing Twitter's ever done. So the CEO of Twitter will look like a fucking hero. Because he did nothing and he made $1 billion profit. He's going to make Twitter profitable for the year by not buying it. That is the funniest fucking outcome. That is the funniest fucking outcome. But anyway, yeah, it's worth following. It's an interesting story. And as long as this number, again, because most of Twitter shares are owned by like pretty smart money, like institutional investors. As long as this number is under 54.20, that means a good chunk of people in the market still don't believe it's going to happen. There is some smart money out there that does not believe this deal will go through. As long as that is under 54.20. Twitter grifted the grifter? It seems like they may have. They may have actually grifted the grifter. Why would Twitter cancel the deal if he's overpaying? No, they won't. They won't. Twitter's not going to cancel it. Twitter wants this deal to go through bad. It's a lot of money. Every Twitter shareholder is going to make out good. I'm going to be pissed. If this deal doesn't go through, the stock is going to tank. And I own 800 shares, and I'm waiting for my check from Elon Musk. If this deal doesn't go through, I'm going to lose fucking money. I might sell tomorrow at like $50. I might sell tomorrow. Because $4 a share is nothing, but it'll tank way. It'll go down to 30s, 20s if this deal doesn't go through. But I'm kind of greedy, and I want the extra $4 per share. Oh, I'm still sick. Sucks. Still sick. Oh. Ah. You know what all I need to do, though, is just win this poker game. If I just win the Mysteries poker game, I don't have to worry about this at all. Imagine I go to the poker game. Here's a world that could happen. I go to the poker game. I lose $100,000. The Elon Musk deal falls through. I lose $50,000 from that. I'm now negative on my Twitter shares. I'm negative on my fucking thing. I upload the video last minute. Lud's already uploaded first. He's got 1 million views. I get fucking less than average. I get like 100,000. That's a real world that could happen. I just get fucked. Triple threat. Yeah, I'm going to be fucking subathoning, dude. You're going to see the Atrioc subathon. Yeah, anyway, I think it's fucking interesting. And it's just so wild because this is like it is the largest buyout by a single person ever in the history of corporations. So it's like, it's just a lot of risk. It's crazy. And I know he's very rich, but he's playing with a lot of, it's a flimsy house of cards, you know, it's all leveraged against each other. If it all goes bad, it's going to go really bad. Why did you get 800 shares Twitter in the first place? I talked about it. Dream Twitter is the answer. There's a clip of it if you want to watch it. I don't want to explain it all again. Dream Twitter. That's why I bought 800 shares of Twitter. I put 30 racks into Twitter because I thought, you know what? This Dream guy has got a dedicated fan base on Twitter. Thoughts on Twitch policy changes? I was going to wait till Marketing Monday or Starketing Saturday or whenever I'm going to do it. But I can give you a brief overview. They fucking suck. Twitch policy changes are cringe and bad and cringe. But it's also nice because, well, you know what? They're good for me. They're good for me. You know why? Because I already have a shit deal with Twitch. Twitch already screws me out of half of everything. Okay? I have 50-50 already. Even when I had 8,000 subs, which is above everybody else I've ever known who got the good deal, they didn't give it to me. And so, dude, I don't even have fucking bounty board. I don't even have bounty board. And so, yeah. But what I'm saying is, now that all of the people who had great deals are going to have the same shit deal as me, we can all be mad together. It's like I was holding a single person strike. I was chanting outside of Twitch H quarters and nobody was there. And now everyone's going to be there. So it's kind of good. It's good for me because more people will be on my side. Have you asked for a better split? Of course I've asked for a better split. No, I went like this. Please. Please, Mr. Twitch, sir. Yeah, more ads too. Everyone loves full screen ads on Twitch. Yes. Please, Jeff Bezos. Why didn't you already have a better split? I don't know. Well, actually, I do know. I know exactly why. The reason Twitch hasn't given better splits to anybody who got like big-ish. I'm in the medium area now, which is kind of cool. But it used to be. These are rough numbers, okay? Because I don't think you're supposed to say, which is lame. But you know, it used to be if you got like 3,000 subs, the behind the scenes knowledge was like you were probably in for a better split. That's what it used to be. And when I got 3,000 subs, I asked, and they were like, nah. And so I was like, all right, bet. It's probably a little harder now. So I asked again when I got 5,000. And I asked again when I got 6,000. And I asked again when I got 7,000. And I asked again when I at one point got 8,000. And every single time it was a big no Maggies. And what I realized is, and it's kind of obvious, Twitch doesn't fear their competition anymore. They always give out the best deals, even when I work there. They always give out the best deals when they're afraid of competition. And they're not afraid of competition right now. They just don't feel like anyone's a threat. And so there's no reason to. And so actually, that's exactly why they're doing this. They're clawing back all the good deals they already made. Basically, they looked at their numbers and they're like, wait a minute, we already gave Soda Pop an amazing deal. We already gave Shroud an amazing deal. We already gave everyone. We already gave all these big streamers amazing deals. Let's claw it all back. Let's get it all back to half split so we can make a lot of fucking fat racks. They're basically take back seeing. And it's whack, obviously, but I'm hopeful for a world where enough streamers are angry about it that maybe we could do something, but we'll see. Or that competition gets better. Is Twitch profitable now? No. No, I don't believe so. When I left, they weren't, and I don't think it's changed too much since then. Yeah, they're not. They lose money. It's expensive to do live HD video and have a huge office in San Francisco. Go to Mixer. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring back Mixer. Mixer was a good era. Every streamer that hit their prime or whatever, that hit big around the Mixer, early YouTube, early Facebook, Twitch era, the era of the four kings, the four competition, made absolute racks. Everyone that was big in that era made insane money from their platform deals. They got crazy sub splits. Twitch was nervous. And then everyone that got bigger after that makes almost nothing. Makes no bags. Everyone who made it big back then gets to go to the Mr. Beast poker game. And everyone who made it bigger after that is playing Stanley Parable, okay? All right? That's how it fucking works. That's the fucking deal. Didn't PewDiePie get a deal with some weird platform? Yeah, he was on like he was in that one that Doc was on for a bit, right? What was the PewDiePie? D Live or something. But he made like probably tens of millions. Tens of millions for that. What about Ludwig? Ludwig is like the fucking massivest success story on Twitch and still didn't get offered a great deal from Twitch and got a good one from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Not a Shroud level deal, not a Mixer level deal. And Ludwig was like a game-changing content creator. Highest sub count of all time. innovating, doing shows and all that, and still got it. You know what I'm saying? If Ludwig had gotten big a year earlier, he would have made fucking 10x the money. So it's just timing. It seems like people around your size usually do a lot more sponsors to make up the extra money. And here's where I was in. What reason would I possibly have for not wanting to shill out a bunch of different sponsors? What reason would I have? God, what reason would I have? I don't know. What reason would I have for not streaming 8 hours during the day and doing sponsors? I can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, I don't do sponsors. I turn down most sponsors. In fact, I'll be honest with you. This is not disparagement, I hope. You know, one of those universities, I'm not going to say, one of those like online universities, they offered me a pretty good deal to just talk about one of their online marketing programs or whatever. And I just felt it. I looked into it and I was like, I've already talked a lot about how colleges are mostly even like accredited universities are like way too expensive, mostly a scam. This feels scammy, so I said no. And so there's that reason. One, sort of like they don't align with what I want to say. And then the major reason is like I work a job. I feel weird anytime if it ever requires me to tweet, I say no. Because I don't like, so I say no to most things. No, it wasn't PragerU. No. It wasn't even a one that would be, like I looked it up and it's not considered one of the scam ones, but it is like, in my mind, probably not worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it probably is not worth it. It's not, you know, it doesn't have like a fucking scandal or anything. So I didn't want to do it. I hate how predatory college ads are. I've gotten the same college ad 50 times. Are they predatory? I guess so. I guess some of them are. They do a lot of like a lot of online college ads do a lot of like promising of a future that they have no track record of delivering. You know, they'll find people who are like unhappy with their job or situation and be like, this is your path to like a great career. And then they don't deliver that. And so it's cringe. Bruh, if I hear one more thing about Raycons, I'm gonna fucking snap, dude. I literally use my Raycons every single day at the fucking gym and when I listen to podcasts. I use them every single fucking day. They work great. I have literally no problem with them. I don't know. People act like they fucking stab your ear and like shock you. They have good battery life. They don't fall out. I have no idea. My Raycon Everyday E25s, yes, the blue ones. Wait, Ari, babe. Babe, can you tell a stream that I use my Raycons?
He does. I have to like fish him out of weird places all the time.
I'm not putting them in my ass.
No, well, I wouldn't go dig it in there. But I'm saying like they're over there and like the bud's over there and I have to put them back in the case and I have to put them here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they're like I have to charge them once in a while because you never charge them.
Because they last so damn long.
Yeah, they do actually.
All right, thank you. So it's annoying. I feel like people think I'm fucking making it up.
No,
I literally use them all the time.
He does. And like, would I lie? No. I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
I didn't think you would, but I thought that was weird. You sound like Jafar or something. Yeah. All right. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm giving him a free ad right now, which I don't want to do. But I just hate when people always act like I'm fucking making the whole thing up. But I'm not an audiophile. Listen, this is off the clock. I'm sure, dude. I'm sure you can get better fucking audio quality. Yeah, okay. Here's the deal. I'm sure. But for me, they work good. Ask your dad about the 100K poker game if he would do it. My dad, if he even knew I was doing that, would disown me. Dude, when I go to Vegas with my dad, he is the cheapest gambler of all time. My dad puts down fucking $4. He makes sports bets. He will go to the sports book in Vegas. He will bet fucking $8 on, I don't know, the fucking Rams or something, and he will sit there and watch the whole game, and that's his day. And if he loses, he'll feel sad about it. He does not. He only wants to put down a small nominal amount of money so that he has like some stakes, but he does not want to gamble. And so whenever I'm there and I'll put down like a $500 bet on the Suns or something, he's like, he shakes his head. If he knew I was gambling $100,000 on poker with pros, he would actually disown me. Fiscally conservative? Oh yeah, for sure. Listen, my dad, when my parents met, they were waiter and waitress at a university at the Grand Canyon. And my dad enlisted in the military and had jack shit for income. And he put in 30 years. And the military doesn't pay that well. And he saved it all. Like, he never bought anything stupid. Like, my dad definitely, like, slow and steadied it. And it's fucking really impressive, actually. He actually slow and steadied it, which is really cool. He went and enlisted a colonel? Yep, he did. He went and enlisted a colonel, which is pretty fucking cool. He had a full career in the military. Are you seriously going to run? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it unless I get word that I could literally fold every hand and no one would be mad about it. Hey, Big A, random question keeping in mind. If you were a farm animal, which would you be? I was going to honestly think about it, but you just want me to say cow. I'd be a coffee cow. Fucking wall of omega lulz. Holy shit, losing your mind. Can't breathe at the table, slapping the desk, slapping the screen, knocking over your computer, crying, screaming, shitting. Just losing it, dude. Literally unable, gasping for breath. Funniest thing ever said. Gripping on the edge of your table. Oh. Dropping the phone out of your hand in bed. Oh, no, I know. It is that funny. It's crazy. How does comedy keep getting better? Liam Dinos, thank you for the 12 months. Meg Ellie, thank you for the 7. Misha JG, thank you for the prime. CS Noah, thank you for the 3 months. T-Dogs, thank you for the 1 year. Oh, 1 year Poggies, thanks for the fire content. Hey, appreciate that. Thanks for the support. Do you salute your dad when you go see him? So sad. No, I don't salute my dad because he retired like a coward, I tell him. I tell him I liked you better when you served. I'll drop a 7 at Fleming's. Yeah, who dad's going to go have dinner with my family? Insanely. Is your dad a coffee corporal? No, he's not a coffee corporal. He does love coffee though, so maybe he is. If you are, wait, what? How did moving a lot while growing up affect you? I think it's cool now because I have a lot of stories and I've been to a lot of places. But obviously, it's cringe as hell when you're a kid. Bro, when you're a kid and you make friends and then you move every 2 years and you're like, have to start over and be the new kid at every school, sucks ass. But I think it's what got me into gaming. Straight up honest. Because I remember specifically, I wasn't even that big into games. And then at one point we moved to Germany. And and I made some friends at school, but I also made friends online, like gamer friends. And then when I moved from Germany, I immediately lost all my friends that were in Germany. Like that's it. It was good friendship, then it's dead. And all my online friends were still the same. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually sick, by the way. I'm actually sick. And so whenever you keep moving and your online friends relationship get deeper and deeper and deeper and your real friends keep restarting, it was like it pulled me to spend more time gaming and being online and stuff. What are your opinions on the U.S. military? It is too expensive. That is my opinion on the military. It is filled with a lot of contractor fraud, which milk the U.S. government for a lot of money to vastly overpay for things, so that defense contractors can get really rich. And so it's basically bleeding the budget of the country dry, along with interest payments on debt, both of which are non-productive to fixing or improving the country. Those are the two biggest expenses, by the way, on our balance sheet. Is just interest on debt we've already taken. Takes up like, I swear to God, it's like a third. It's so high now. Every year, all of the tax money that goes in, I swear to God, I think it's 15% to a third of all of that money goes to interest payments on debt we've already taken out. And then a huge chunk of it goes to the military. And then what's left over, it has to go to like Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. And then after that, we have like nothing for improving the country. My dad always wanted me to go to the military. Yeah, my dad did too. Yeah. My dad wanted me to do ROTC, join the military. He was like, it pays for college. You just have to do 4 years and then see if you like it. I was never about it. Didn't want to do it. Why do we even pay that debt? We have the best military. How are they going to get the money? So your plan is to take out money from all these other countries, default on the money, say, fuck you, come take it. Yeah. That would crash the dollar. Nobody would invest in the country. Nobody would loan us money ever again. But yeah, they would have a tough time taking it. Yeah. But I guess I guess that would work. Just scam poor countries. It's not poor countries giving us the money anyway. Like a ton of our debt's from China, dude. Just print more dollars, idiot. You know what? You guys should run things. Elon what? Elon just sold 4 billion in Tesla shares? What are you talking about? Elon? Whoa, 43 minutes ago. Elon just sold 4.8 billion worth of Tesla shares. He's already liquidating. Interesting. Musk's sales of Tesla shares were large enough to put downward pressure on the stock's price. Dude, is there a fire alarm? Elon Musk is trying to stop me. Every time I bring up Elon Musk, the stream cuts out or a fire alarm goes off. What the fuck, Elon? Dude, this is fucking... What the fuck? Sell. I can't sell right now. I mean, the market's closed until tomorrow morning. I might actually sell my my Twitter stock tomorrow and just take profits. Because if this doesn't go through, and there's like, it's probably, I don't know, 80-20 that it does go through. If it doesn't go through, this stock will drop like a rock. Twitter will drop to like $30, $20. And I will lose, I don't know, 19 times 800. Yeah, that's whack. I'll sell tomorrow morning. We'll see. Diamond Hands hodl. Ooh, maybe I should Diamond Hands hodl. I don't know what chat's saying. Anyway, what time is it? So, yeah, probably in 10 minutes, we'll play Stanley Parable. It looks fucking fun. If you guys don't know, it's one of the more fun games I ever played on stream was the first Stanley Parable. And then they've come back with a bunch of new stuff, so it should be fun. Or they skyrocket and you play poker with blood. There is no shot that Elon drops his buyout of Twitter, and then Twitter stock doubles to become the highest it's ever been by far. That does not sound likely. Atrioc, very unrelated, but have you ever tried doing nerd shit like D&D? What's up, man? Oh, fish! I won't show it. Much.
This might be hot.
Thank you. I love eating fish. Da da da. Da da da. Fish is delicious. Da da da. Da, da, Dude, I don't think I talked enough when I did the first video about how crazy it is that Jeff Bezos made the tweet he did. I think I like alluded to it, but when you really think about it, Jeff Bezos never ever said shit like that. And so he really is like, it's the rich person equivalent. It's like the country club equivalent of, I don't know, slapping someone on the golf course. It is, he is openly calling Elon Musk a Chinese asset when you think about it. Which tweet? This one. This one. Where, you know, Jeff Bezos never tweets. He almost never tweets. And he basically just said that because the Chinese government can pressure Tesla to force Elon Musk to do things for Twitter, China got control over Twitter. They can use leverage. And he says Musk is extremely good at complexity. But he's basically saying, he's open, because he never does this. He's basically like, hey, calling Elon Musk a Chinese asset. It's a massive subtweet. You should ratio him. It's hard to ratio Jeff Bezos. You know, you ever seen those websites where you can buy likes? He'll use one, and I can't beat him. Literally said he doesn't? No, you're actually, dude, you have to read between the lines. He can't openly make this a call out. Do you understand? Jeff Bezos doesn't work that way. He is a billionaire that always has restraint on calling things out. He has to say this shit to make it seem like it's not personal. But when you say this, you are causing the news, you are directing the spotlight. This is very openly a knock on Elon Musk and a knock on this decision to buy Twitter. 100%. Openly. Yeah, the rich person equivalent of ask for my last email. Yeah. It's subtweeting. And he put a little smiley face on it. Like just asking questions, smiley face. But it is subtweeting. 100,000%. Stanley Parable is a cool game. Don't get me wrong, but is Elden Ring getting finished before the next election? No, I'm gonna keep playing Elden Ring, and I'll have the finale be around the next election, and I will do a 1v1 PvP versus both candidates to see who determines who wins the trial by combat.
Oh, this stream is sponsored by LaCroix Guava. Who's seen that? Anybody? I was ecstatic when I saw it at the store. And it's pretty good. So here. Why are you laughing?
You doing like a tight 5 for LaCroix Gava?
What's the tight 5?
It's like what a stand-up comic will do, you know, like they go up on stage and do like they have a 5 minutes.
Babe, don't make me laugh because I'm still hurt.
You are still hurting. That's very tasty. Do they pay you?
No, I just can't.
She's giving me one of these. She's like,
It looks fucking good. It's really good.
she's like, logo out. Remember to do logo out when you take a sip.
Oh, yeah, it's tasty.
Now that's refreshing. That's the LaCroix Guava difference.
I dare you to find me another soda that has guava.
I will lose that dare.
Sparkling water.
Hey, what's the deal with Applebee's, huh? No apples and no bees. Damn. Damn, we got comedians in chat, too. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's fucking funny. God damn. I hope Doja Cat makes a song for Guava LaCroix. Yeah, me too. Hey, me too. I like this response on Jeff Bezos' tweet. Can we skip to the part where you both get into your Gundams and fight to the death in space? By the way, you guys also know the context of this is that Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are kind of enemies. They've already had some back and forth around the rockets. And Elon Musk has openly shit on Jeff Bezos many times and called his rocket penile. And Jeff Bezos always stayed calm, said nothing, but he kind of got a jab in around this. Aren't all rockets penile? You'd think. But when you're trying to make a funny tweet. The two richest guys on Earth. Yeah, actually. True. It is the two richest guys on Earth. Trading Twitter jabs. I can't. I still can't believe the richest man on Earth posted a picture of the former richest man on Earth and said boner killer. I actually can't believe that happened. And then bought the website the tweet was on. With debt. This is a wild timeline, dude. What a wild timeline. I think that Ari girl likes you. Yeah, well, I'm hoping. I'm going to ask her to marry me at our wedding. Fingers crossed. Don't spoil it. Kind of risky, don't you think? Ask her to see Morbius first to wow her. Okay, I'm not trying to wow. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. If she sees Morbius, she's not going to care about me, dude. She's going to care about watching Morbius again. I have to keep her from seeing Morbius as long as possible. When she sees Jared Leto say it's Morbin time, it's fucking over for the rest of us. That's like Goku going straight to SS4 on episode 1. Dude, I want to go to a dinner party with you, dude. I would love you to chime in with you. If you could give me a DBZ related metaphor for everything, that would be so sick. All right, one second. I gotta blow my nose. I'm still sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. I don't want to tell you. I'm sick and I'm busy. What a week. Coke with coffee. I like how you mixed both. That's good. That's good. Wait, Eddie Burback watched Morbius 5 days in a row? I kind of want to see that. Is that a video? I went to see Morbius 5 days in a row. Okay, actually.
Oh my god, I swallowed the teeth. Oh god, I swallowed the teeth. Morbius, the film of this century. The first movie to make $1 trillion. 214%
Yes,
on
sir.
Rotten Tomatoes. Could there be a better movie to ever come out? Yes, because that is what meme culture is doing to Morbius right now. Because it is a terrible movie. I'm sure all those jokes will be old by the time I upload this video, and they'll be even older when somebody rewatches this in a year, and they're like, what the hell is Morbius sweep? Good old Morbius is sitting at a 16% critic Rotten Tomatoes
Slander.
score. If you're not a mathematician, I'll just let you know, that's bad. That's really bad. It's got an audience score of 71, but it's also impossible to decipher whether this is a joke or not because of all the Morbius memes. I think we're all getting into some comic book fatigue. You know, even if you care about comic books and comic book movies, there's just so much out right now that you can't possibly enjoy it all. And Morbius is a Marvel movie. It is not made by Disney or in the MCU, but Sony, the ones who made these Marvel movies, made this one as well. So it's in the Spider-Man universe, one of them, I guess. There's like a bunch now, but not this Spider-Man. And if you're not in the comic or movie world, you're probably thinking, did we need a comic book vampire? And on top of that, did we need it to be Jared
Yes!
Leto? And the answer
Yes!
is no. Nobody asked for Morbius. And now that it happened, aside from the meme, nobody's asking for more BS. But I haven't seen...
Oh my god. Morbius could be the sequel. And then Morb3us could be the trilogy. And then Forbius can be the fourth movie. Oh. Not 3BS. Holy shit, dude. I would definitely see Forbius. If they actually made a sequel, I would see both movies.
Seen the movie yet. Everyone's saying it's bad, but I can't believe what everyone says because I'm me. I know
Morb 3D. Morb 3DS. That'd be good.
better than everyone else. So I had a wild idea. What if people are missing the point with Morbius? What if people are just going to the movie once seeing the movie, not understanding it, and judging it prematurely? What if I saw Morbius 5 times in a row over the course of 5 days? Maybe then it would open my third IBS. That sounds like third IBS. Mm-hmm. And for me to do that, I gotta get IBS 1 and 2. Didn't even know they made a sequel. But, and hold on before you leave comments, there's 2 big glaring problems with me going to see Morbius 5 times in a row. 1, Jared Leto
It's not
is
6.
a creep. If you don't know, Google it. He doesn't seem like a good guy at all, and I don't want to support a movie he's in with my money. And 2, without seeing the movie, I'm just going to take a wild guess that maybe I don't want them to make more BS. So then I thought of a morally gray plan. Recently, I saw the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, you could buy a different ticket, right? That's clever. Is that what he's going to do? You could buy a ticket for a different movie. I would do that to see... When I was a kid, I went to a lot of, I would bike to the movie theater, and you just buy a ticket for a different movie, then go into the rated R movie, because you couldn't buy a rated R ticket. So I did that all the time. I remember I did that to see, there was that Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie, Brick or something. Am I thinking of that? It was really good. Was that rated R though? No. Bricked Up. Yeah, that's a different movie. If Joseph Gordon-Levitt had a movie called Bricked Up, that would be very different than Brick, which was a great movie.
Once, and I loved it.
Might have been
I
Don
love
Juan.
the directors, and I love everyone in the cast. It's such a victory movie. I love everything about it. So the plan is to go to the movie theater for the next 5 days, buy a ticket to Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then sneak into Morbius just so people don't think I actually want to see Morbius. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I thought it'd be funny. I thought it'd just be a funny, stupid idea.
It is.
So that's the plan. That's what I'm gonna do. Morbius starts in just 50 minutes. So I gotta make my way to the movie theater. And just like that, I was off to...
Did you guys ever do the thing where you double feature? So you buy a ticket for one movie, and then right when it's done, instead of leaving, you just go to another theater and watch another movie? So, listen, my dad's a pretty straight shooter, but he loves to do that. And when we were a kid, we would do it a lot. Like, my dad would take me and my brother to a movie, and we would double feature and go see another one. And it would be fun. It would be like a good way to spend a day. We'd just see 2 movies. But one day, we brought my mom, and my mom thought it was like Ocean's 11, dude. She was sweating. She was so fucking nervous. She thought these fucking, like, minimum wage movie theater employees were, like, fucking checking the tapes. She couldn't do it. We were in the lobby, and we had to walk just across the lobby past the concessions and go to the other side. And she couldn't do it. I remember distinctly. I was only like 11. And my mom was like, I don't know. And so we had to leave. I remember I was so mad. But she was just fucking sweating.
To start my Morbius journey. And I was a little bit nervous because I worked at a movie theater when I was 19, and it's not like I would get in any real trouble for walking into Morbius even though I didn't buy a ticket, but they could definitely kick me out for it, and I just wouldn't be able to live with the embarrassment of getting kicked out for sneaking into Morbius alone. So I scanned my ticket for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's a fire bucket list item. I almost want to do it. By the way, yeah, my voice is gone, so I do have Elmo's laugh, and I won't apologize for it because Elmo's one of my heroes. being able to say that you got kicked out of seeing Morbius alone.
And to throw them
Is
off
an
my
all-time-
trail, I went to the concession stand to get a water. The water was $5.69, but I remembered that I'm a member with this movie theater company and I get discounts. So I asked him to ring it up again. He did, and it was the same price. It was very embarrassing. I added like 20 seconds to the interaction. It was completely pointless. At this point, the movie was in just 1 minute, so I needed to do a quick and efficient pit stop in the bathroom first. And as I walked down the movie theater hallway, I passed movie after movie that I would rather be seeing. But there it was, at the end of the hall in between two magnificent pillars, Morbius. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Seeing the 325 Morbius showing on a weekday is so sad. Alone. That's so fucking sad. It's so sad that I'm not there with him, is what I'm trying to say. It's so depressing that I didn't get to go because I had to work. I was chained to a desk.
Morbius. That is a movie that I saw.
Yep.
No matter what they say, Morbius is a movie that you can go see. Okay, so Morbius was, surprise, not a good movie on the first viewing. So I have to see this 4 more times. I'm going to wait to talk about it more until tomorrow because there's too much Morbius for one day and it's going to be a lot, even more. So I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, I think, here's the thing. I'm not going to insult Eddie Burback here, but it's possible that he doesn't have an art for cinema. He doesn't have like an eye for fine art. So it's possible that like he needs to see it a couple times to peel back the layers and see the themes, see the expression. You know what I'm saying? It's probably like first time it just overwhelmed him. It was too strong. And now he'll be.
Okay, so it is day 2 of Morbius Watch.
I think yesterday I was really hyped up on the idea that I was doing this video. It's really hitting me that I'm gonna have to sit through Morbius 4 more times. All right, let's go. And just like that, we are back on the Morbius journey, walking straight to the theater. Or for my Brits out there, the cinema. Now, like I said before, it's pretty easy to walk into Morbius as long as it's in the hallway along with the other movie I'm seeing. My problem this time was when I scanned for Everything Everywhere All at Once, the greeter turned and pointed to this theater right next to where he's sitting and was like, your movie is right there. So I wasn't planning on buying a water, but to have him not see me walk past the theater
just
he
go
just
to the
pointed
concession
out, I had to
stand,
go buy another water for $5.69. This time I didn't ask to scan for my discount because I knew it wouldn't help. But then the employee asked me, so she scanned it up and we just watched the price be the same again. And I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day. But then it was time to find my movie. And as I walked down the theater hallway, still, much like yesterday in between two magnificent pillars, there it was, Morbius. I'll see you on the other side. Again. Okay, so big surprise. I didn't like Morbius the second time. So we
It takes
open
3.
with
Everyone
epic
knows it takes
music, revealing a giant M that slowly zooms out to reveal the word Morbius, which I don't know if my brain is broken. But I just feel that Morbius is maybe the funniest word I've ever heard in my life. His name is Michael Morbius. I'm just gonna give you a second to drink that in. There's a scene in the beginning where he is like on an expedition and captures some bats, but it doesn't really matter that much. They cut to 25 years earlier. Michael Morbius is in Greece in some kind of children's hospital, and he's introduced to his new friend Lucy.
You know what's funny is Jared Leto's like 50 something, right? So 25 years earlier, he would be a full-grown 25-year-old adult, not a child playing.
Morbius immediately calls Lucian Milo because his old friend seemed to be Milo, and then when Milo either died or left, there was another kid that came in, and he names that kid Milo. And every time a kid cycles out, he names the kid that name? What a fucked up thing to do. You're already a kid with a horrible illness, and you don't even get to keep your name because this other kid in the hospital is like, you're my pet. You're my best friend that I keep pretending is the same person. The fact that Milo and Morbius have a disease is a central plot point, but they never once say what the disease is. I wrote down how young Michael Morbius describes it. Michael says that something in their DNA is missing, like a piece of the puzzle. So the only way for them to live is to get an oil change 3 times a day, which is getting, I believe, a blood transfusion. But they never say what the disease is. I looked up Morbius disease, and the thing that came up was pseudo-vampirism, which just means a fake vampire. So then we cut to the future, and Morbius is receiving, I believe, the Nobel Peace Prize or something like that, because he invented artificial blood. It's like blue blood in an IV bag that apparently has saved more lives than penicillin, which means he's a very accomplished scientist, and he has a lab in a hospital that is completely his own. We are then introduced to his partner, Martine, who seems to be an accomplished scientist as well, but I'll just let you know, she doesn't get to do anything cool in the movie or have anything at all other than being like Morbius's sidekick. But she visits Morbius in the lab and is like, hey, there's some weird experiments going on in this lab. I know you well. It's revealed that Morbius, Michael Morbius, is keeping a glass tube full of bats in his lab in the hospital. Why, you might ask? Because he believes combining human DNA and vampire bat DNA will cure his disease. So he makes a serum to do just that. So what does Morbius do after he assumes he's made this breakthrough? He visits Milo, his friend from when he was a child, who also has the disease. And here's the twist. Milo, as an adult, grows up to be Doctor Who. He tells Milo that he has figured it out, and it's very dangerous and very illegal, so he needs to do it in international waters. So Morbius and Martine seemingly, I don't know, rent a cargo ship out in international waters to do the experiment. They do it, and oh no, he becomes a vampire monster. Morbius breaks out and starts killing them because he's a vampire monster. Martine, he doesn't want to kill. She gets knocked out, but he doesn't just kill these hired guns. He like 360 no scopes, cranking 90s, makes a show out of killing these people. He is bouncing off the walls. At one point, he zooms past the guy, slashes him in the face, leaves him. The guy is standing there in pain, then bounces super speed back and kills him right after. So I counted, I believe, and I'll need to check this next time, he kills 8 people. He also drinks their blood, so when he comes to and isn't the monster anymore, there you go, his disease is cured. He's not skinny Jared Leto anymore. He's buff Jared Leto now. By the way, how is he 50? There has to be some weird magic, some dark magic going on with Jared Leto. It just strange. He's 50 years old.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
The movie came out on April 1st, and it is now April 22nd, which means showings are becoming limited. I have 3 more viewings, including tonight, and there's only 1 show per day for the next 3 days. So the only showing tonight was at 10:35. I used to be able to choose when I was gonna go see Morbius, and now it's like Morbius is in control. Like Morbius is sucking the life out of me, like he would suck blood.
That's when you truly experience it.
It's just a shadow. I thought it was Morbius for a second.
And just like that, I was back on my Morbius journey. Luckily for me, my friend Jarvis was coming with me.
Jarvis!
I may have forgotten to mention the whole plan and just showed him the Everything Everywhere All at Once tickets, but I'm sure it's not a problem. I mean, who wouldn't want to go see Morbius? All right, say Morbius.
I thought we were watching.
But you know, it was a Friday night. We decided to have a couple of drinks just to have some fun. And there was a bar at the theater. So we grabbed our 2 drinks for a cool $55.
What the
then
fuck?
a quick pit stop in the bathroom. And there it was in the middle of the hallway. Morbius, I will see you on the other side. Listen, I will just talk to you after the movie, okay?
God, what a lucky motherfucker
You know
getting
that
to see it
fake
3 times.
Einstein quote? What is it? It's the definition of insanity is watching Morbius again and again and expecting different results. I think I'm going insane. So, where were we? Morbius is hot now. But wait, hey, over here, quick word from Honey. You probably already know what Honey is, but if
Yep,
you can
I
get
do.
it by the
I do.
horror that he throws up. Footage and the bodies on the bodies on the floor that he has just killed, looks at the security footage and is so overwhelmed by the horror that he throws up. And that's about the last time he really cares about killing 8 people. So he calls in help from the Coast Guard to the boat, jumps off, and I'm assuming swims 13 nautical miles to the shore. After that,
You see how
Morbius
ripped he
goes
was?
back to his lab, and it's the classic scene we've seen in superhero movies where he's like examining his powers. But the one crucial piece of information is that he doesn't want to drink red blood because it turns him into the vampire monster. So he drinks his artificial blood that he also has in his lab, which lasts him about 6 hours. But he notices that the clock is starting to count down. It's starting to last 5 hours, then 4 hours. So as he's struggling with that, Doctor Who comes to visit him. And one detail I forgot to mention because I genuinely didn't notice it on the first viewing. Milo
First
is
2 viewings.
unexplainably rich. They must have cut a scene. He is so wealthy. And they mention in passing twice that he funds everything Morbius does. So he's like, you cured our disease. Morbius is like, rawr, I'm a vampire monster. This thing is a curse. You don't want this. And Milo does not like this. He demands to become a Morbius monster. And this is where the writing fails because, spoilers, he's gonna become a vampire, but he ends up stealing a vial off screen to become a vampire. When they could have written that Milo is funding Morbius's stuff, he could have just been like, hey, I don't care if you don't want me to take this vial. I own all the property here. Don't forget who funds you. But no, he has to, I guess, somehow palm it and swipe it away. We don't see it, and he's not even close to the vial once he wants it
That
and
is
knows
odd.
what it is. Anyways, Morbius
But
is in the
nitpicking
hospital,
greatness
and
is
they
cringe.
do this horror scene where a nurse gets killed, but they don't show the vampire. So you're like, immediately, oh, it's Milo. He just said he wanted to be one, and they would show Morbius if they wanted us to know it was Morbius. Morbius sees the dead body in the hallway, tries to get away, runs into the FBI, and once he's caught, uses his vampire powers to leap up 20 flights of stairs. He gets to the roof, runs to the edge, and I will give Morbius this. Some of the CGI is cringe with the vampire faces and everything. But the rest of the CGI for the vampire powers is actually really cool. They have like weird wave air effects.
Proof. It's the greatest film of all time. Proof. Even its biggest haters are won over once they see it 3 times. Proof.
That he's like catching drafts like a bat would see, and he almost flies off the edge but catches himself.
He loved it.
Has
He
been
just doesn't
about
want to admit
10
it.
seconds since he leaped up the stairs, and Tyrese, by the way, the FBI agent is Tyrese, is immediately up there with a gun. He climbed 20 flights of stairs in less than 10 seconds. So Morbius goes.
Listen, as the world's biggest Morbius fan and president of the Morbius fan club and a man who's reviewed it 11 out of 10, but technically hasn't seen it yet, I only want to see it more after seeing this video.
Goes to prison. There's a really just absolutely cringe scene where he's getting interrogated and every joke falls flat. I have now been to 3 showings and nobody has made a sound. He says
Nobody's
the
there.
line, I'm getting hungry and you don't want to see me when I'm hungry. Fuck you. Milo then visits him in prison and leaves a sack of blood behind and the cane he walked in on behind as well as he leaves. Morbius realizes
When I heard that line, I got chills. I don't know about anybody else. I literally got goosebumps. When I heard that line, it was so fucking, it's so perfect for the character, you know? Because he doesn't like to be hungry. Do you understand? I don't think he got that. I think he needs to see it a couple more times. It's like, holy shit. Like, understand the characters.
oh no, he can walk and he gave me real blood. He must be a vampire now. His whole moral thing is that he doesn't want to drink real blood. and he needs to break out of prison to go stop Milo. So he drinks the bag of real blood, punches the wall, and jumps out and chases him down. So Morbius has now had real blood twice in the movie. He catches Milo, and Milo is instantly just bad guy. He's like, we're the next evolution. Screw all of these people for not having a disease. I resent them for it, so I'm gonna start murdering them. And then they fight for a while. Milo kills, like, I think maybe 6 people during the fight, but Morbius refuses to fight Milo, even though he's murdering people in front of his eyes. So as Milo is slow motion running at him, apparently
He doesn't want to hurt his friend.
Morbius can perceive time faster than the other vampire, who's sucking more blood and should be more powerful. Morbius catches the draft of the subway train, and then right in front of the train lifts off and is flying away from Milo. And then the movie cools down. It gets super boring for a long time. I'm not going to tell you every detail. We're really going to summarize Morbius faster than that. What does Morbius need to do? He needs to make a new poison that will kill Milo and maybe him. Like I said, Milo killed a nurse in the hospital, and Morbius mentions that he worked with her for 7 years and she had children. And when he thinks it could be him, he's really not that broken up about it. At this point, Morbius has killed more people than Milo. So he should kill Milo and also take himself out. Listen, okay, he's killing people, but he needs to make the poison. So he overhears 2
It is funny to have the hero kill more people than the villain on screen.
people in a diner using counterfeit money, and they say, come on, we got to go back to the lab. He follows them to a printing press lab they have for counterfeit money. And I mean, they're committing crimes, but not like violent crimes. And to get them out of there, Jared Leto tries to do some fun, like Spider-Man banter. It all falls flat. He takes the leader of the group's hand and shatters it like 6 times. And after they run away, he turns printing press equipment into lab equipment that can make a vampire poison. Meanwhile, Martine is trying to get something from their lab. Milo is out on the town. He tries to hit on some girl at a bar, and because she has a boyfriend, it's reason enough for him to wait outside and kill the boyfriend and his friends. Finally, Milo's reached a point where he's done as much bad as Morbius has. And then after Martine just kind of like helps him for a while.
Big Bird! Big Bird! No! 1, 2, 3! Okay, 1 second.
They stand on a rooftop and they kiss. And as that's happening, they cut to a shot of Milo across the building watching them make out. And I cannot read the emotion on his face. I can't tell if he's aroused. I can't tell if he's jealous or hates both of them. 2 things I do know are the big fight is coming and he is Doctor Who.
Day 4, that's where it gets real good.
Okay, it is day 4. I am wearing a hat and I'm going to take my glasses off. Not that I think that the employees are paying attention, but I've seen a couple of them multiple times. And if I get caught on the second to last or last day sneaking into Morbius, the embarrassment if somebody went, hey, you that guy who's been here every day? Have you been sneaking into Morbius every time you got a ticket to this movie? They're not paying attention.
I don't know if it's real, but thank you.
Okay. But I just have to make sure. Also, there's like a lot of people seeing Morbius tonight. Who are these people? I should interview them mid-movie. Just stick a mic in their face. Why are you here? But I guess my reason is more embarrassing than anyone else's.
Okay, for day 4, I forgot to respond to some of the friends who were willing to go with me, so I had to go alone. So I was off again on my Morbius journey. And because my planning was so poor, I had to rush on the walk to the theater, and I got really sweaty and hot and thirsty. So this one's on me, but I had to buy another water. And there, in the same spot that it was before, Morbius. I'll be honest, guys, I sat down to watch this one and was like, okay, this is the second to last. Maybe I'll enjoy it because I'm almost done. Then the first 2 minutes played, and it dawned on me. Oh, God, I have every scene memorized. Nothing can surprise me on this rewatch. I am stuck here, and I know everything that's gonna happen. It was miserable. But during that experience, It felt like something inside me changed. When I walked outside, I was welcomed by the darkness of night. Seeing all of these people walking around and shopping with their mortal lives. They don't understand me.
Yes.
They don't understand.
Yes.
The person who would see Morbius 4 days in a row. I could feel it in my soul. I was evolving.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna wear the cape. I just feel more comfortable in it. I don't even know how to explain it. Oh, that one was brutal. Oh my god, one left. So what is there to say? One, I forgot to mention in my last recording that before Milo
He's
goes
got
out
the
on the town, he has
fever.
the most cursed dance scene I've ever seen in
There's
a
a
movie.
dance
I would
scene?
describe it as the Spider-Man 3 dance scene, but
Great scene.
if he was alone in a bathroom and was trying to be sexier and was a vampire. Does that make sense? So the FBI looks
That
at
sounds
security footage
perfect.
of Milo, getting rid of that girl's boyfriend for simply dating her. They've been referring to Morbius as the Doctor, so there's a moment where they see Matt Smith's face on the security camera and Tyrese says, "That's not the Doctor." And I mean... So there's a father figure that I barely mentioned because he doesn't really matter. Milo kills him. Morbius goes to him, and before he can really say anything to him, the guy goes, "You have to stop." You ever die so fast you moan your last word? And the ending moves at super speed. As Morbius is holding this dying man in his arms, he immediately hears through his sonar hearing that Milo has captured Martine, his new girlfriend, which again, Martine is an accomplished scientist, could have made the poison while Morbius was doing vampire things, but they couldn't even give that to her. Morbius then hears Milo put his thumb right here. She starts dying, so Morbius flies through the city to her, gets to her, and all she can really say is, "Plant one right here, bad boy. Make it count. Suck me good one last time." So Morbius
good
drinks her
line.
blood, and Milo is standing there clapping, and he says to Morbius, "Drank the red. Good for you." This is the third time that Morbius has drank the red. It's not new, Milo. So they have a big CGI, Marvel type fight. And Milo's whole philosophy is that he wants to show Michael who he truly is, who he can be with this next evolution of human society. And the way he shows that every time is by violently attacking Michael. So they're CGI fighting, going through buildings. They crash through the ground into some big CGI sewage area, and Morbius lands on a pipe above the ground by his knees and hangs like a bat.
That's
so Milo's on the ground
badass.
going, "Come on, Michael,
That's
I know you can do better
badass.
than that." And Michael just squeals so loud that sonar moves throughout the tunnels and then falls to the ground. Oh no, is he dead? The only way to save the day is if
That's badass.
thousands of bats immediately flood the sewage tunnels and lift Morbius off the ground. This is what happens. Then Morbius notices that they're moving to his hands, so he starts like Aang the Avatar, bat bending and pushing bats at Milo, and he's getting hit by bats, and he's pushing, and Milo's getting hit by bats. Morbius walks through the bat swarm and hits him with the poison. And Milo dies. And no joke, I timed it. Morbius with the bats flies out of the hole in the ground. It shows Martine wake up as a vampire, cuts back to Morbius flying with the bats, zooms in on his face, and then goes Morbius. The time between the life leaving the villain's eyes and the end credits is no joke 1 minute, 35 seconds, and
Yes!
56 milliseconds. That is how supersonic speed.
Don't waste our time. That's the sign of a good movie. Okay? The plot's over. Let's move fast. Morbin time. I love that. I respect that. That's fucking efficient cinema. That way, you can quickly go to your next showing. You know what I'm saying? You're not sitting there watching a bunch of boring bullshit. You're back to the next showing.
This movie ends. And I get to see it one more time. I don't want to see it again, dude.
Finally, the last walk of my Morbius journey.
Someone said, more time to look at my crypto portfolio. That was so kind of the director to cut the ending short so that everyone can look at their crypto portfolio and their latest NFT project at the end of every showing before they go watch another round of Morbius.
Even though I had spent quite a bit, I was with my friend Jim and I got a popcorn and a water because I was celebrating. There, glorious, for the last time in the same spot in the hallway as the last 2 times. Morbius at 10:35 on a Sunday. To many, that would sound miserable, but it was music to my ears. And it was such a fun watch. I knew every scene that happened was the last time I would ever see this movie again. But as we were watching, I kept getting distracted. Morbius had changed something inside of me, and I realized that it wasn't a gift. It was a curse. And before I knew it, the movie was over. So what could I say about this journey that I went on, this Morbius marathon? It was nice to get out of the house, every day, but it also wasn't nice sitting through 9 whole hours of Morbius in one work week. But I know that Morbius has changed my brain chemistry.
Yes.
I feel different.
Yes. Oh.
I feel like I have evolved. And I have Morbius to thank for that.
I'm lying, okay? That was a lie. I didn't learn anything.
Yeah, 'cause you saw it only 5 times, idiot. Everyone knows the 6th showing is the best. Like, everybody knows that. It was, I was like, I could tell all the way through. I was like, he's going to stop at 5? Idiot. It's because the 6th time you put it together. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the first 5 are pieces of the puzzle, and the 6th time, the first 5 are trees, and the 6th is the forest. You know what I'm saying? That's where it really eye-opened for me. For me, it didn't hit till 12. Yeah, well, it's different strokes for different folks, but I think at least 6. I want to watch the dance scene. Let's see. Morbius dance scene. Hey, spoilers. If you've only seen Morbius less than 50 times, get out, okay? Because you should experience it with the context. But if you're like me and you've seen Morbius technically 50 times plus, you can stay in and you can watch this. Morbius clip feel good. What is this?
As a result of my procedure, I have an overpowering urge to consume blood. For the first time in my entire life, I feel good.
Is this the dance?
Yesterday, I could barely
Not
walk.
it. Is there another link to the dance? Oh, here it is. Someone's got it. Yes. That is how you characterize a villain. Damn, that's fire. All right, you convinced me. I'm gonna buy a screening. I'm gonna buy a movie theater chain and watch it all day. And I'm gonna make sure they don't show anything else but Morbius. All right, hey, it's 10 o'clock. I'm trying to get a quick. I'm gonna jump into Stanley Parable and see what we can play tonight. Let's do a little Stanley Parable. I think I'm morbsexual now. Yeah, just make sure to say that as much as you can in your real life, not just in here. I know it's easy to say, to admit in this safe space that you're morbsexual, but what you should really do is go around to all your friends and family and teachers and say that you're morbsexual. That should be something you make a part of your daily life. They're already sick of hearing it. We know. We know, Jimmy. We know you're more sexual. You've told us over and over and over. Okay. Stanley Parable. Let's play it. If you guys don't know Stanley Parable, fucking hilarious game. Played it on stream a while ago. They have added a bunch of new stuff. We're going to see what it is right here, right now. It's Stanley Parable time. Da, 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 da. Stanley. If there's a mod, can you change my game? English subtitles, please. Have you played Stanley Parable before? Yes. I have. Computer's barely visible. Yeah, we're good. The current time is 10:04 p.m. Okay. Oh shit, we're in. We're in. All right, welcome to the world of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Let's begin the game and see what they've added.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yes.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk,
Stable
telling
employment,
him
Pog.
what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-wrenching, Stanley relished.
Game's a little loud.
Every moment that the orders came in, they had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Pog. Happy, stable
And then
job.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for...
Little quiet. Little quiet. No big deal. We'll go up to a nice 75.
nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Sad.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
COVID. He didn't
Something
know about
was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
They have the graphics. It looks
But as he
nicer.
came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Nothing opens. All right. I forgot. Oh, yeah, this door.
When
Yeah.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We always go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I did.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it, but eager to get back to business. Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. I don't do that.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he
rebel.
wasn't fired years ago.
Is this the exact same first round I did last time I played over like a year ago? This feels like exactly what I did last time. If I jump off again, I'm literally...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else is But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Did I bought an entirely new copy of this game to do the same thing?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Where's the
memo.
new... Okay. Where's the new... I'm gonna go this way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Marketing
Stanley decided to go up to his
Mondays!
boss's office, hoping he might
Marketing
find an answer there.
Mondays! Yeah! Atrioc reference. Do not alter without consulting Whiteboard Manager. I would never alter Marketing Mondays. The only problem is they have it on a Monday for some reason, when it should really be on a Tuesday, if not later. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. It's powerful. I think it's a line in Morbius. Okay. Okay. Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet,
We've already done
but there
this.
was nothing here,
We've
so
done
he
the broom
turned
closet.
around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Psych. What's this? What's this? Wait, I can't read it. It's like a cat. It's like an owl on a motorcycle.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Wait, what the fuck?
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Wait, what?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This
Wait
can't
a
be
minute.
real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
I'm
this
dreaming!
This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an
I go
answer,
back?
an explanation.
Wait, what if
His
I...
co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still
can't-
lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, shit.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing?
I don't
and
know!
thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly
Let me
strange.
out!
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams,
This is the
truth
second
was
ending I
that,
get.
Of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever
I'm
been
literally
in his
Connor
life.
Eats Pants Minecrafting right now.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain,
what if I do
beyond a
this?
doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
if I could
Did the
only
voice
jump.
not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Stanley's
He
having a
would
breakdown.
prove it. He would prove
Stanley's
that
having
he
a
was
breakdown.
in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Wake up.
He felt the
Wake up,
cool
close your
weight
eyes.
of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Please, 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 please.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife.
He had a wife?
And my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always
Dude, I can
been.
hear myself still walking.
My life is normal.
I can hear myself still
I
walking.
am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, fuck.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Wait, this has to be new. Wait, I've never
Mariella
seen
woke
this.
up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular
the old
day,
one?
her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man.
Well, that's
He
not.
was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be
Are my
normal.
first two endings
I am
crazy
safe.
deaths?
I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that
the
day.
meeting. Yes,
the
you've got to
very
go to that.
important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her
You
life.
can't miss that.
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. All right, so I didn't have two great starts. One of them, I killed myself by jumping off of a...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Whoa.
it mean? Stanley decided to
one
go
of
to
my
the
went
meeting room.
insane
Perhaps he had simply
and
missed a
also
memo.
died. Let's see if we just follow his instructions. If there's new stuff. Let's just do everything right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm going to do everything you say.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Coming to a staircase, Stanley
Speed run.
walked
Speed run.
upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Tell me!
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
That is amazing. That is lucky of me. Stop narrating. Where's the narration? Wait, why did he stop narrating? Dream luck. 1 in 7
Descending
trillion.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. We'll do it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
I remember
Stanley
this.
thought to himself.
Yeah, it's every one of
Did he
them's
have
got a-
the
yeah, I remember
strength to find out?
Wasn't there an ending where like I'm playing Minecraft or something? I remember that too. It literally turns the game into Minecraft. This is NVIDIA headquarters. It's actually not too... This is not too far off from NVIDIA headquarters.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place.
Yeah, we
where
all have numbers.
freedom meant
Yeah.
nothing.
We actually do all have employee numbers. That's not... That's not weird, okay? You have to have an employee number because there's a lot of employees. What is it? Employee fired. Employee fired.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Where's mine?
Had
I'm
Stanley
47,
really
right?
been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to
Big
the
awakening.
world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls
Yes.
once and
Yes.
for all.
Off. I hope the guy monitoring me presses happy one day. I hope so too, man. I did it!
Blackness
That was a
and a
speedrun.
rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Yes!
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was
I fell.
mere moments away.
Did I fall?
And yet, even as
Wait.
the immense door slowly opened,
I moved forward and I think I
Stanley
fell.
reflected on how many
Oh, okay.
puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
My own
What
pluck
other
and
mysteries
wit.
did this strange
None.
building
There's
hold?
none.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to
Yeah,
him.
it doesn't.
For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
Yes.
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
The moral lesson
Whatever
is if
life
you do
he
everything
lives,
you're told
it will be
at all
his.
times. That is
And
the,
was
the
all
key to happiness.
he needed to know.
Never
It was
question
perhaps
orders,
the
follow
only
them without
thing worth
delay,
knowing.
and you too can be
Stanley
happy.
stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Good ending! Wow, I just had to follow orders. That was it. See that mountain? You can go there. just launched into Elden Ring. All right, I beat the game. So now I should get the new stuff, right?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay, but how...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Says
he had
who
simply missed a
farted.
memo. No matter how hard Stanley
That's
looked,
hilarious.
he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I mean, that guy's obviously the office clown, dude. He's got the fucking best jokes. All right. There's got to be new stuff. What about this one? Awaiting input. Input received. Wait a minute. Is there more of these? What's this? Wait, what did that say? What about this? Ah, shit. Okay. I can't go back in my office, can I? No.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance
Shut the
the
fuck up.
story in any way.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. There's like... Oh! Oh! The new content door! Oh, that ought to do it.
Oh, new content?
Yeah!
What does that mean, new content?
Well, I hope it means new content. Can you shut the door so I can go? Holy shit. Can you imagine this narrator on my Elden Ring gameplay? Atrioc went around looting every single fucking object that he was never even going to use in any conceivable situation. Wasting everyone's time and his own.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Yes!
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Wow!
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
That's great.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I'm so excited.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Hey, me too. I spent money on it.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning
Me
of
too.
a
Me too.
mesmerizing adventure.
Yes! Yes! Ultra Deluxe. All right.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere?
sure yeah, there we go.
There we go. All
There we
right,
go.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content.
Let's go,
I've never
baby.
been more ready. Let's do it.
Woo! 7 years in the making. 7 years in the making. It's all going to be worth it.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious.
Okay,
It's
well.
as if Oh, okay. Let's see
Here
the
we go.
content.
I'm not
Give me
gonna-
the content, Stanley.
All right. Content, content, content.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Okay. The jump circle. Press space to jump. Oh, they added jumping. Can I jump out of the circle? No. Can I jump out of the... No. No. Okay. All right, cool. All right. Great. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, hey, that was worth it. To be honest, that was worth it. If that's what I spent $30 on, that was sick. I mean, around the 15th jump, I started to realize, like, the freedom of motion.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Yeah, I'm out of jumps. I'm sure there's more. That was great, but I'm sure there's more.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this
Hold
game
off,
are not
hold off.
positive.
It's like Morbius,
It's
the
just
first time you don't get it.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If
You
this
don't
is
get
new
it yet.
content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's
Please
20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
See?
Yes.
You
I
negative
knew there had to
Nancy?
be something else. Let's
There's
see
more.
it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
All right, new stuff. Snazzy new digs.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the
Game
level of
of the
craftsmanship
year.
that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally
I love this
accountable.
game because I can beat it fast.
It's my fault,
Unlike
Stanley.
Elden Ring.
I built up too much anticipation around
I
the
did
new
it.
content.
I did all
I'm
the new
afraid.
stuff. I'm
it
done.
could never have lived up to such expectations.
Chad doesn't keep
If
asking me
you're
to
still
play
with
because I
me,
beat it.
Why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about? No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
All right. Wow. Now that's new content. Oh. Now wait a minute here. This is not the same room. Now wait a minute here. Hey, I didn't want actual new content. That's hard and challenging. I wanted joke.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
No. I won't.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Mean. Spiteful. Shit, did I just lock myself into the old content?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
I should
door
have
on
just
his
fucking
left.
done it. Fuck. Fuck. I didn't want. I thought there would be more new content if I avoided the fucking. No, I'm just doing the old content.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And he called me a dork.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, we're back. Yeah.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent.
You got me.
I want to show you something.
It's like the vented GoldenEye.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned
Yeah,
out
I
to
do.
be? Well, it got
Yeah.
me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be.
Me too.
So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers
Whoa!
won't find it. Just our little secret.
Elden
Take a
Ring!
look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my
Wow.
life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Wow.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched?
Yes.
Back then, video games had integrity.
I remember that.
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The Last of Us 1, and they put, they put a fucking sticker over it. God, remember when gaming was good? Yes. The first dollar they ever made. Smile because it happened. Wow, they got nominated a bunch for things. What about this bench? No, I can't sit on the bench. No big deal. I didn't want to anyway.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
Yes,
it was
it
all
was
of them.
beautiful.
And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
Cringe.
It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
What's this? Memory zone maintenance? Doesn't open up. But I bet it could. Person of the Year, you. What's this? Okay. Stanley Parable. Yes, it was a very good game. Great video. Really enjoyed it.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever
I
been
understand
confronted
the
with
game
in a
was good.
game.
I understand.
9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game
No,
was
not
perfect.
perfect, right? 9 out of
It
10.
didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone.
Yeah.
To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
For sure. For sure. You're making a strong case as to why this game should not exist. I will give you that. Can I? Wait, I can't go to the serious room. Wait, Mr. Narrator, I can't go to the serious room. It's locked. Even though I really want to go to the serious room, I don't have any jumps. Wait, did I need to save my fucking jumps?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Yeah, bitch, I'm
What's
off
this?
rails.
What's down here?
I'm off. Oh, what the hell?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's being collected down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of
Yeah.
art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
There isn't. It's actually really funny. That's a cool concept of making the reviews in Apocalyptic Warehouse. Oh, what's over here? If only I still had a fucking jump.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Yeah.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness.
You're a little preachy
this is actually quite
sometimes.
shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps
Sad.
the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Hey, man. It's
What's
okay.
this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
If that's a real review, what would be the fucking point? If you could skip the narrator, what's the fucking... You just walk through hallways? What is the... I guess it's supposed to be a parable of something.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too
That's
preachy, then
so fucking
maybe
funny.
letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customers.
I love that about you.
Yes, a skip button we shall
Nice.
have.
I appreciate that. Great. A skip button? I'll just...
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there.
Hey,
I don't know why
Yappy.
the skips are getting
Quit
longer, but
talking,
they're-
Skip!
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single
sorry to
person
hear
to
that.
speak with.
I'm
And
really
you'd
sorry
think
to hear that.
That's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
Yeah.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what
Okay.
we've
Hey,
already
man.
been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me.
Skip!
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
Yeah.
I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
Ah.
Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside,
so interesting.
what took its place is what I can only
I feel
describe as the
so much
collapse
regret.
of every moment I have ever experienced
yeah?
my entire life.
Oh.
All of them collapsed down into a single
crazy,
instant.
but-
In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a
Oh shit. Oh, thank God. Now I can finally play the game, you know what I'm saying? Woo! Now I can finally do what I want to do, which is run around hallways with no narrator. 10 out of 10 Steam. Oh, he's actually gone. And I actually can't leave this room. Now this is gaming. Yeah! All right. Would hate to press that skip button again, but kind of trying to get to the content. Skip. Oh, what's that? Is that in real life or this game? All right, the clock fell off. The plant is long dead. Would love to skip that alarm. Would love to skip that alarm. Gonna have to skip it. It's too annoying.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's
he's actually
assessment
going
of
off
others.
right now.
But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable
I feel
to
like YouTube
nothing.
comments.
We get a world where
This is how
someone
I
will
feel
say,
like YouTube comments.
there should be
Actually,
a skip
go off,
button.
kid.
You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken,
Okay,
now
but-
it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing
Yes.
demanded by every person
Yes.
at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we
back.
been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do
All right,
so?
we're back.
Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live
Sorry, I
in.
do
It
have
seems
to-
that we are a people
Yeah, no,
living
I
in
get
such
it.
bleakness and discomfort
All
with
right.
ourselves that our
Unfortunately,
entertainment
I
is
gotta
now our
hit
lives.
the
It has come to
skip.
represent us.
I hear a dripping. There's still nothing over here? Okay.
The end is never the end, 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 is never
Let
the
this play.
end, is never the end.
I don't wanna
is
skip
never
this
the
anymore.
end,
He's-
is
I think
never
he's
the
building to
end,
something.
Is never the end, 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 is never the
Actually kinda
end,
bars,
is never
dude.
the end, is never the
goes.
end, is never the 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 end, is never
New
the
whip,
end, is
new
never
bitch.
the end, is
Pull
never
up to
the
the
end,
club.
is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never
Wait
the
for the
end,
drop.
is never the end, 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 is never the
Oh, wait.
end, is never the end, is never the end.
All right,
is
skip. It's got to be like 100,000 years at this point, right? All right, it's really starting to leak back here. Oh, shit. Okay. Time is starting to ravage this building a bit. Don't really want to be locked in here when it sort of hear the howling of the wind. He's not talking anymore. Oh, sunlight. Maybe things aren't so bad after all. Okay. Let's just give it one more press. This is actually such a funny fucking concept. I wonder if you listen to all of it. Like, he has to stop talking eventually, right? On all of them? Because it's recorded. That's just crazy. It's very funny. Oh, fuck. So much for nature healing. Thank God the button doesn't run out of juice. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm scared. I'm actually scared. Wait a minute. What kind of fucking mutants have spawned? Oh, shit. Skip. Oh. Wait, it fell. Oh, fuck! Oh, no. This whole building fell over. And the button's broken. Oh, no, I can't skip anymore. Imagine it's been 5 minutes. This is not 5 minutes. Okay. A little hot out here, huh? A little toasty. I can't believe that's an ending. I can't believe that's an ending. I just spam the skip button until... Alright, I'm back in my office.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
I like work, I just hate my boss. That's a fucking bold mug to have. What does that one say? Smile. Alright. Did I get my jumps back? No, I can't jump. Interesting. What about this? Oh. New content? Don't mind if I do.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Holy shit. Valley Town. All right. The elevator again. Nice. Love that.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
It's not so bad. The skip thing is kind of funny.
The Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Okay.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time
Here
ever
it comes.
the Stanley Parable 2.
Yes! Holy shit, it's a sequel!
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up.
Yes.
Why, there are so many possibilities. It could
The
go
end
in
is never
so
the
many
end
different
again.
directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yes. Taste the sequel. Yes. What is this? Is it a code? 2222222. Interesting. I can't decipher that.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yes.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean?
So good
But the
point.
Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yeah, what about 3 at this point? They're back. This is like a cheesy. Like what they would actually do. More TSP, more Stanley Parable, better Stanley Parable. Win-win. Sequential mind share. I love this. Paradigm shift synergy. Yes. Client-centric marketing. The color red. Leverage holistic value. This is my fucking yes. 2 greater than 1. It's just a deck with logo ideas. I love that. I love that. Holy shit, thinking about work.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical.
Sequels are
really.
good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar. Love that movie. Dark Souls 2. All proof. This way to the show floor. What if I go this way? You can't. Okay. Whoa. What are the new features? Tell me. Tell me. It's like E3. Yeah, they have nice studio.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. Like what? Like the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Okay, that sounds awesome. Yeah, all right. So I'll press it. It says Atrioc or something.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Okay.
Isn't that
That's
wonderful?
Okay, let's do it.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
Sorry.
If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to... All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
All right, I'm sorry. I feel kind of bad now. No, I'll do. I'm Jim. I'm Jim. Oh, I'm imagining being Jim.
See, if you'd only played along,
Oh, I
that
get
would
it.
have
No,
been
I
your
get it. Oh, that
name
felt
the button
amazing.
says, but no.
Wow.
Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Well, no.
Jim.
All right, we got. Hey, that felt good though. We got to get use out of it. Damn, we lost the Jim button. It was the only light in my life. What if I could press this button? No. All right. Well, the other features better be as good as that one because that was pretty fucking stellar.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
A whole new office. Red is the new orange. Updated, ray traced, more of the same, but in a good way. Woo! Ray tracing, yes. Little RTX on. That's what this game is missing. Collect. Oh, there's so much stuff here. There's merch. I saw the new content. That's hype. I'll get the merch. How about this one? The reassurance bucket. Let's try that.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical.
Yeah.
That it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
That's awesome.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket
Let me have the bucket. I want the bucket.
And to be honest, it's a much more
Give me the bucket
for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Yeah.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of
feel more
charisma
confident.
as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Holy shit.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I actually do feel quite good with this bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
They both wouldn't make sense for an office, right? Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, or get well someday. Chat, what do you think? Happy 12th birthday, step-niece. Why would you bring that balloon to an office? Look at this guy. You know what, though? With the bucket, I don't need your guys' validation. I'm going to go with my first gut.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
You piece of shit. If I didn't have this bucket, I'd be furious right now.
Or actually, Maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. Well, what's over here? What the hell is this?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game.
Oh, nice.
This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like.
infinite
a stunning
hole.
leap forward for video games as a medium.
But I don't want to. I don't want to fall on this hole infinity times. That doesn't sound good. But as long as I got my trusty bucket with me. Ah, shit.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Kind of peaceful, though.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're
Yeah, it was
unusually
fun.
fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
I don't know. You had a feature
I
for me.
figured
New
the
mug.
hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to
So
just call
stupid.
the hole mostly infinite?
I mean, it wasn't really
If that
close.
works for you,
No, it
then
wasn't.
go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top
I don't
of the
want
hole
to.
and we can move on.
You lied to
I'll
me.
just be up here when you're ready.
I'm having a hunger strike. Me and the bucket. This was not even close to infinite. It's like 30 seconds. Okay, maybe I'll just jump in again.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Hey, yo.
A normal
Hey, yo,
person
pause.
would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
That was even shorter.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about. And I've had enough of the hole for... Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Oh, it's really
Wow.
short.
Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, it's not even that deep of a
Stanley,
hole.
I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
I don't wanna. I don't want the hole to get shorter because it's fun to fall down the hole.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive dip. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
It's still a rush.
Oh,
Still a rush.
who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're
Well, I
here
can't
to
get
do,
out, though.
and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole. And now you'll get more time with it than you
But
could
it's not
ever
even a
have asked
hole.
for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole. I get to do literally anything else. Take care,
No,
Stanley.
no, hey, wait.
I
I
hope
was
you and the
kidding.
hole have a
Wait,
wonderful
make it a little deeper before you go. Oh, that's not good. What's going on out there? Is it fun? Use the bucket? If only I could use the bucket to get out. What is going on out there? Oh, wait. It's descending. Holy shit. Whole devotees are rewarded. Change your perspective. Change your perception. Change your reality.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
I want what he's smoking.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole.
Just make it
And I'm
deeper!
looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Who says Toodle Pip? Fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Is that the hole?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Doodle Pip. That was a good ending. It's 11:14, unfortunately. Oh, what's this? Let's do one more. We did the NF hole. What about settings world champion? So that's... Where's the infinite hole is K. So it's the opposite. It's this way, but on the other side of this. No, that's not it. Where's free achievement? I'll go there. New, free, and easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. Free achievement. Wow.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you.
Hell
it's
yeah.
as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature.
It'd be a cool
Gamers,
feature.
we hear you,
Gamers, we hear
and I
you.
promise it will happen.
It's EA talking. Gamers, you asked, we answered. I want the fulfillment. I want the pride. You got me.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the
come
jump
on.
circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice
No,
decorative
just give me
piece
more
then.
jumps. Are you kidding me? Forever? That was a different... Oh my god, I want to jump so bad. I actually want to jump so fucking bad. Alright, I'll do the QR code, then I actually have to go to bed, unfortunately. I have a meeting tomorrow morning. I'm going to play more of this game, though, for sure. This game is really fun. QR code. Alright, let me get my phone out. Let's get the camera out. Let's zoom in here. Went to the link. It is the official website of StanleyParable2.com. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the exhibit. There's a video. Wait. There's a video.
Say there, Timmy. What's that you're enjoying? Why, it's breakfast, of course. Everyone loves breakfast. But did you know that breakfast is getting a sequel? That's right. It's called Lunch. And critics are raving that lunch will be everything breakfast was and more. With a little luck, we may even get a trilogy series out of it. Say, you know what a sequel is, don't you, Timmy? Why, sequels are the world's way of clinging helplessly to the past. We all want more of the things we love, and we're all afraid of change,
Yes.
which is what makes sequels so popular.
Yes.
New ideas are dangerous, Timmy, and they can lead to early aging. This eager-minded young thinker is just 29 years old. That's why we have sequels,
How I feel
to
at
keep us
29 on
couched
Twitch.
in the familiar and the comfortable. Sequels are the bedrock of a healthy, functional society. And if you look around you, you'll find them everywhere you go. For instance, this man is developing a sequel to the automobile, which we'll call the vertical automobile. It's a useless, impractical invention. And in 2 days' time, the man will be publicly stoned to death for his crimes against gravity. Not all sequels are heretical nonsense, however. Here's the man who invented breathing, which is the sequel to suffocating and dying a slow death. Even your parents are getting a sequel, Timmy. Their names are Rob and Jessica, and they'll be taking care of you once your original parents are sent back in time to fight a secret war for the government.
Right.
Sequels can be very fashionable. This young woman is wearing 5 shirts at once, which is the sequel to wearing 4 shirts at once. Look at Becky over there, wearing only 2 shirts at once. Get with the times, Becky.
Yeah, seriously.
In
Becky.
fact, there is only one single thing in the world that isn't a sequel. It's this. We don't know what it is or why it exists, but it's the prequel from which all sequels are derived. And just like everything else, the Stanley Parable is getting a sequel too. We all know, of course, that it was your favorite game as a child.
Right.
Don't you remember those long, lazy afternoons you spent playing the Stanley Parable?
wasn't a child,
Watching
I was
your
13.
precious youth fritter away hour after hour. We've all wasted our childhoods in one way or another, and you were fortunate enough to get to waste yours on the Stanley Parable. But the Stanley Parable came out years ago, and you're not a child anymore. You're a man, which is like the sequel to
I
a
was a
child.
man the first
And as a
time.
man, you want manly things like taxes and cheating at baseball. You need a man's video game, Timmy. And that's why the Stanley Parable 2 will be perfect for you. It's as manly as video games can get.
Wow.
And if you don't believe me, let's look at the burly hunk of a man who's responsible for the game. Huh, here he is, hard at work. His name is Gregory 8-Pack, and he's the cutting picture of raw, virile masculinity. Gregory is what we call the ideas guy, and he has the most important role on the team.
I love the
The
ideas guy.
ideas guy tirelessly comes up with interesting concepts and then hands them off to the rest of the developers for the relatively simple job of turning those concepts into reality. For example, he's the one who picked up the phone and declared, "Someone ought to make a sequel to the Stanley Parable." Good work, Gregory. Go ahead and take
Yeah.
the rest of the day off. With the hard part out of the way, work on the game can now begin. The game's developers must answer a simple question. What makes a sequel in the first place? Well, it's simple. Sequels are an opportunity to correct the mistakes of their predecessors.
Yes.
We've all made mistakes, and we've all caused harm to someone we love in order to cover up our mistakes. When developing this particular sequel, it's important to start by thinking, what mistakes did the original Stanley Parable make? Well, first off, most of the pornography in the original game was stolen or pirated, and it's time we paid the licensing fees fair and square. Second, the Stanley Parable was catastrophic for this man named Leroy, whose personal information, including home address, social security number, and bank information, were all displayed prominently in multiple locations throughout the game.
Remember that.
Although Leroy's money and identity were stolen, the fact remains that his personal information was the emotional core of the game and absolutely vital to a nuanced understanding
you
of the
couldn't
story.
get rid of it.
As reparation for the harm we caused him, the sequel will contain a brief and insincere apology to Leroy, tucked deep within the game where it will be difficult to find. Finally, the Stanley Parable made the mistake of leaking too many
huge.
government secrets about the nature of the Time Wars. Without these intricate details of specific military tactics, the story is likely to make very little sense. But we've decided to remove them from the sequel in the interest of helping the state's efforts. We'll get to you yet, Time Dracula. Now then, it's time to set about constructing the Stanley Parable 2. Game development is a difficult and complex art,
No, it's
one
easy,
which
just
can
crunch.
only be fully understood by this race of hyper-intelligent child soldiers bred in laboratories. They begin by studying the original Stanley Parable. Here it is in its raw, untouched form, a specimen of technological perfection. Time to exploit it for profit. We begin by adding jokes. The Stanley Parable was most widely known for its stark lack of humor, bucking all conventional industry wisdom.
Yes.
It was a bold artist statement that its developers stood firmly behind. But in 2022, it's impossible to reach even a single consumer of video games without jokes of some kind. So very well,
I need jokes.
it'll be. During its development, over 500 kiloliters of comedy will be funneled directly into the core of the Stanley Parable 2, creating jobs for hundreds of machine operators and producing 30,000 tons of pollutant chemical byproduct, which will be pumped directly into local lakes, rivers,
Good
and
for the
beautiful nature
economy.
reserves like these all over the country. Another common complaint of the Stanley Parable is that there wasn't enough gameplay. And so for the sequel, its developers have gone to great lengths to fix this problem. Here we can see gameplay being printed onto sheets. Every video game contains as many as 1,000 sheets of gameplay, and several of the largest games ever made contain close to
More than
1,500.
Overwatch 2.
On mobile devices, the gameplay sheets have to be printed smaller. For the Stanley Parable 2, as many as 35 new gameplay sheets are being printed, each of which must be delicately massaged by the hands of a child before being added into the game.
Child labor
This
is
man
important.
is stealing gameplay sheets from the factory, which he likely intends to use for a personal project he's been developing in his spare time. A good public stoning will cure him of that inclination. Let's check on Gregory real quick. Ha! Still recovering from a hard day's work. Don't you move a muscle. Next up, it's
Rest
time
easy,
to
brother.
blackmail the press. In a competitive market, blackmailing your local journalist can be one of the most effective methods of creating word-of-mouth buzz for your sequel. In fact, blackmail is the
Kotaku,
currency
if
of
you don't
social
give this kid 10 out of
progress.
10, you're a piece of shit.
From your neighborhood grocer to the teacher at your school to the man who helps you steal HBO, everyone responds to blackmail. And if you've never done it before, it's easy to practice
actually
at
do
home
need
on
HBO
your
password.
friends and family. Simply follow the instructional pamphlet that your teacher hands out after the end of the film. And finally, there's one last tool at our disposal for making the sequel feel fresh and exciting, and that's packaging the game with collector's edition merchandise.
Yes!
If you order the Stanley Parable 2, you'll receive this cow's egg. A single egg will produce over 1,000 cows, which are, of course, the sequel to pigs. And there you have it. Everything there is to know about producing the Stanley Parable 2. Of course, you may know
Had to
that there
be
is
cows,
also
huh?
a game titled The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Had to be
So which
cows.
game is the true sequel to the Stanley Parable? It's an excellent question, Billy. One which the child soldiers have been working round the clock to come up with an answer to. And after many weeks of diligent research, the conclusion they've reached is, who gives a shit? All that matters is that it's more content for you to cram down your insatiable
Yeah.
gullet. You don't want thoughtful and nuanced answers to
Content.
complex questions, Billy. You just want to eat bubble gum and cheated hopscotch. So get out there and consume. Do your civic duty and bully your parents into buying you every version of the Stanley Parable 2 on
Yes.
every platform.
Yes.
Tell your friends to bully their parents as well. It's through community efforts like these that the world comes together in harmony and connection. And it's only through this connection that we'll defeat Time Dracula once and for all.
That's what I was hoping.
Don't let the time-traveling vampires win. Buy the Stanley Parable 2 and pledge to support
already
all
pledged
sequels
$600
for
to
today, tomorrow, and into the great unknowable beyond.
He was 3 years old. He died. What the hell? Okay. Well, I learned a lot from that, and I cannot wait to play the game some more tomorrow. But I do have to go. It's already 11:30. Thanks for watching. R.I.P. Billy. This game was actually really. I'm glad there's a lot of new stuff already, which is cool. It's very fun. I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. Let me raid somebody. Thanks for watching today. Tomorrow we're doing CS:GO with Punch, but then I'll have some time afterwards. I could probably, you know, what we're gonna raid. We're gonna raid Aiden. We're gonna raid Aiden Calvin. The second biggest J-Mook fan in the world. Go give Aiden some love while he plays unranked no cam Sheik. Yeah. All right. Have a good night. Bye.